Hey, what's up, everybody? I put a video out yesterday, but it didn't get uploaded till later last night. But we are at $3.06, and this is looking pretty interesting. So we're approaching a breakout. So to me, either we have a couple ideas here. Either this is going to be a flat, and then we go up, or this whole thing was three, and then we get three, and then we go up. Or this was a running flat. A, B, C. Build your base, right? Like a rise, crash, retrace, reaccumulation, sideways, blast off, right? A running flat. So that's kind of what it's looking at this very moment. So we'll see if we can morph into something bigger in here. I mean, I really think this thing can get up to almost $4 if you want to know the truth. Let's look at this individual wave right from the bottom here to the top to the bottom. Yeah, like 340, 350 would be the target right up in here. So that's literally all-time, that's new all-time highs, right? Because what is the all-time high for XRP? Depending on the exchange, it's usually $3.30 to $3.33. On Bitstamp, it is exactly 333. So let's actually put a line right there. There we go. We'll go back. And when we actually look at this, we're really, really close to that black line. I mean, we're super close to a brand new all-time high. I mean, look at that. We're literally right there. And we actually kind of broke above it before, right? So if I put another line here, we'll put that one right there. We actually went up to 340. So, you know, we kind of breached the high, but it doesn't count, right? Because, you know, it has to sustain it. So, yes, very, very, very interesting. So what now, right? Well, now we just kind of hold on for the ride, right? So it still could be very bearish because it can turn into, you know, we're right in the retrace levels, right? This is the most important level to break. And if we look at the fibs from this range, we are literally we literally already just crossed the 786, right? So let's go to the 6 hour or so. So yeah, we have well, we don't have it yet, but in an hour and so, let me get rid of these. Okay, so we are approaching this. I mean, we're closing above the 786 in an hour and 20 minutes on the 4 hour. So that's what you want. You want a confirmation. Really, you want a daily candle, but we'll start with the 4 hour. So if we get a 4 hour close above that 786, it's going to further solidify the breakout, right? And then we got the 886, and then we got the swing high. The important one are these two right here. These are in my opinion, one of the most important ones. And then second to that would be the 786. I mean, that's really the final one. You have the 886, but then you're in like flat territory. So now, could it be a flat? Yeah, it could. And that's why retracement levels are good, but then sometimes they don't really, because a lot of times you can get through all of the retracement levels and even break the high, but then still come back down in three waves or even five. And it can be like basically a three-wave move, A, B, C. And then you go up, which would be devastating, right? It would suck so bad. But that's the reality of it, right? So just because you get through the retracement levels doesn't guarantee anything. What it does is it eliminates your standard correction and basically gives you one small chance at going against you, right? Because why? Because you only have 3 waves. You know, anytime you get 3, you are very, very, very cautious, right? But if you get 3 waves right in the retracement levels, that's when you get extremely cautious. Because as much as we want this sucker to break out, you could still come back all the way back down before going up. And that could take another 3 to 4 months, right? So hopefully that doesn't happen, but we're at the level where it would happen if it does happen. So that's why it's like, it's exciting, but it's also terrifying at the same time. So what do? Well, you just track the small time frames. And when we look at the small time frames, it still looks very bullish. This looks bullish, right? You're sort of just kind of phasing in. It looks like it has more to go. Put it that way, right? I don't see anything reversal. Like for example, if we go back over here, you see how we just kind of rounded out and then boom, spike the high, boom, spike the high, boom. It didn't give you much time, right? Even back over here. So this is different though. This looks completely different than all of these. So that's good. That's what you want. So we're at 306, 307. If we zoom in, we can get rid of that. You still, I mean, so let's just run through the ideas here. Like, again, this could be 3 and then 4 and then 5. And then you have A, and then you have B, and then you get C, and then you go up. So A, B, C. So that's 1 and that's 2. All right, so you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, wave 1, A, B, C, wave 2, then go. That could happen. Another idea is that you already have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is A, B, and, well, I just said that. No, the other one would be, basically this would be wave 3, 1, 2, 3, and then you have like A, and then you come up B, and then you come down C. It's a running flat, and now we're going up for that wave 5. And I think that would probably be the best option. Otherwise, this could be still 3, right? You have that run up for 3. So 1, 2, 3. And then you have 3. So it'd be like W, and then you come up X. Or no. You would be like W, and then all of this, that's a 3-wave move, would be X. And then you get Y, and then you go up. So just because you're breaking, I mean, that's the hardest part about trading and charts is when you break out, you don't know if it's going to turn into a flat. I mean, that's how the markets take all your money, is flats. The flats are the ones that do that, right? And what is a flat? Well, a regular 5-wave move, A, B, C. Simple, and then you go up. But a flat is you get 5 waves up, and then you get an A, but the B wave a lot of times takes the high. And then the C wave can either come here and go up, it can go there and go up, or it can go there and go up. As long as the B wave is 90% of A. So that's why the B's are the traps, right? So is this A, and then is this B? Is this a B wave? Is this a B wave trap, and then you're going to get a C, and then you go? Or is this the real deal? That's what makes it difficult, right? So I would say if you're an investor, if you're a hodler, it doesn't matter at all, really, because you would just, dollar cost average into the market. But if you're trading, then the best thing to do is don't trade it, right? Waiting for confirmation. Wait until you get some level of conviction that, yeah, this is the real deal, or no, I'm going to wait. So that's pretty much it for XRP. It's getting more and more exciting. I mean, we're above any day above $3 is a good day, because the $3 is so significant for XRP because that's the all-time high, right? It never tasted $4. We're literally $1 away from never being from being at a level we've never been at, right? Not even $1, less than that. But I think once XRP crosses $4, that's when it's undeniable that we're in price discovery. So I think if we look at a bars pattern, let's just take the whole thing. We're going to take the whole thing, right? And then we're going to take this and kind of just move it back right there. So I'm going to put it right here. So if we look, you can see, is this high or this high? Either way. But basically, all of the time down, this was all the same time, right? And then look when we broke out. We broke out at the same time. And look what we're doing. If I kind of match up the wave here with this one, I don't know if it's the same time frame though, but shouldn't matter. But if I just match up this, I mean, dude, we're right there. Come on. So you can match it here, and that would suggest another three-way pullback. Continue, right? But it makes more sense if you put it over here, right? Because this was the top, not this. This was a flat. This was an expanded flat. So that's not the real top. So according to this, we're literally right at the verge of a breakout, right? And where did this sucker go? It went all the way up to $30. Now, is it going to go to $30? I would hope and pray and dream, and I don't know. I would be so excited and I wouldn't even have words. That's because I don't believe it's going to $30. Now, I think at some point it will. But remember, let's look at the market cap. Because the market cap, the price doesn't know, when we look at the price doesn't know that we had inflation, right? Because, let's see here. If we just look at the market cap itself, we're already in price discovery. We're already beyond the all-time high, right? So we're already far above it. So the all-time high was right there at 127 billion, and the retracement high was at 90 billion. And we're sitting at 180 billion with the extreme all-time high, that retrace level is at almost 200 billion. So from a measurement perspective, or from a percentage perspective, we are up 41% above the all-time high. So market cap, to me, is more significant than the actual price of XRP, because the price doesn't know about inflation. It doesn't, because remember, we have a max supply of 100 billion coins, and I think there's like 50 billion or so in circulation. And then you have the Ripple escrow account, which basically they release the tokens into the market. It's better, basically they sell them, right? Ripple sells like 1 billion tokens a month. And you go, well, that's bad. That's bad. No, that's good. We don't want Ripple owning it. We want the coins to be out. And you say, well, that hurts the price. Well, but it's not about making the best price right away. It's about the longevity of it and the tokenomics of the whole plan, right? So starting from year 1 all the way to year 20. I'm sure they have a plan with obviously certain releases, but if Ripple keeps selling 1 billion a month, they should be completely sold out. Not too far away, you could see right here 100 billion, right? Which there's already 60 billion in circulation. So you really only need 40 billion left, right? You have 40 billion. So Ripple has 40 billion left. So if they release 1 billion a month, that's 40 months away. So that is 3.33 years. So they're going to be done selling in less than 4 years. And you can say, well, that's a long time. Not in the grand scheme of things, right? Not in the grand scheme. And it's interesting because 3.33 is the actual price, the all-time high in 2017. That's funny coincidence. So with that being said, that's why market cap in a lot of reasons is actually more accurate than the actual price, because it takes into account the inflation. So if we use the fib level, you could see the 4.236 is at 512 billion. So from a percentage perspective, that's not really far away. That's only about 185% left. Okay, so we'll take that number, 185%. And then what we're going to do is we're going to say, well, what if it goes beyond 185%? Before I do that, let's take a look at, what do you say? What would we say? 185%. So we're going to take a measurement. Now we're looking at the price. And you can kind of see we're pulling back. We were at 307, 304, just kind of ranging. So if we just kind of put it right about there, we go up 185%. Yeah, it was 185%. So we go up, and that's only about $8.60. So not even $10, right? That's according to the market cap. But here's the thing. If XRP would have broken out sooner, because it took so damn long, you have all of this extra inflation. Remember, each month you have 1 billion more coins, right? So if we just go to the monthly chart, each one of these candles, starting from when we should have had a bull run because the SEC screwed you and everyone else, right? How many months following that? Well, we had, I'll count from the red one until today. That's 50 billion. Well, that can't be right. So I think before they were unloading, I'm not sure if it was always 1 billion or if it's higher now, but you have 50 bars right there. So that's 50 billion coins, right? So back over here, I'm trying to figure out, I don't have time to do that, but how many coins were in circulation back over here compared to how many coins are in circulation now, right? So, but anyways, that's why I think, well, if it's only $8.60, it's not really that much. So could there be something extra, 180%, right? I mean, if we're going to go a full-on breakout mode and nobody's even talking, nobody's excited, there's no euphoria in the market yet. What if it's beyond that? Well, if we change this to linear scale or log scale, you're looking at 900. Let me make sure that's right. You're looking at, because with log scale, it's very sensitive. You're looking at 939 billion. So we'll say 940 billion, right? So the percentage of that, let's go to the percentage. We're at 180 billion or so. You're looking at 400%, essentially. All right. So let's go back over here. So instead of like that $26, $27, it'd be 400% from where it is now if it hit that log scale target. So that would really be, that's better. That's about $15. So $15 would be more likely than obviously the $26, $27. But yeah, there you go. 15. So between $8 and $15. So if that's the case, and that's our window of potential, then how do you play it, right? Well, I'm going to do a members video kind of going over a little bit how I would play it, but essentially just really quick, I mean, there's many different ways. There's no wrong way to do it, right? But essentially, you can go, every time XRP goes up $1, you can sell, 2%. And then it goes up another $1, maybe sell 5%. Then it goes up another $1, sell 10%. You could do it that way. Or you could just start at 5% and go up $1, go another 5%, then another 5%, then another 5%, right? So there's different ways you can do that. But essentially, you want to sell a lot, but you don't want to sell too much because if it goes, like if you're expecting it to just go to $8 and then it ends up going to, we'll put the range here. So 8 right there, and then we'll put this right about there. So there's your range of where we should go. And when you zoom out on the chart, it's really not that far away. I mean, if you take the length of this, right, and the length of that, and the length of that, I mean, they're pretty much kind of the same length, just about, right? So if we just take one of these and go here, I mean, that's over the limit. You take another one, and instead of going there, what I would do is I would just start it at the all-time high, so right there. And then I would take this, put that there, put that there. I'm not saying that's where it's going. I'm getting the moves, right? All of these moves are kind of the same, kind of in the same ballpark, right? So, there's definitely confluence right in this area. You even have like this one over here, but this one, I don't think it's, let's see. Yeah, that one's way higher. Look at that. And then this one is insane. This move right here was insane. So if we did this move, this is the biggest move in XRP right here. So it can't be more than that. And that's all the way. That's insane. That's all the way at $150. So that's not happening. If it did, that would be just, I don't know, man. That would be insane. But keeping it with reality, I would say between $8 and $15 is the target. Now, I did say earlier we could hit 26, but that's looking at it from a price perspective, and it would really have to go balls to the wall to even approach that. But here's the problem, though, with the bears, with the it's only going to $8 to $10. Well, it could go way higher than that, between 8 and 15. It could go even higher than 15. Why? Because we don't know how the price is going to react, considering that this breakout is going to be the biggest breakout in crypto history, right? And it shouldn't matter. It shouldn't matter too much, but this is 7 years, right? We've been going sideways for 7 years. So we've been building and building and building and building and building and building and building accumulation, right? Like a coiled spring. So when this thing finally does break out, and you can see it broke out, it's back testing, this could shoot up even more than we can imagine. But we can't assume that because there's no substance to it, right? Except speculation because it's so much bigger of a base. Remember, it took Amazon 10 years before it broke out above its first bull run high. And that's our first bull run high. And it's taken, 7 years. So, and Amazon's still going today, right? And that was back in 2009. It took from 1999 to 2009 to break the high. And it's still going up, 15 years after it had already broken out. Now, that's not going to happen with crypto. Crypto moves differently. Amazon's kind of a slow crawl, right? They're totally opposite of each other, but the time it takes is kind of similar. So, yeah, we're all going to find out together, but that's why we have to, because we don't want to sell too early. We don't want to sell too late, but at the same time, you're never going to time it perfectly. So you're going to have to dollar cost out of the market, and people aren't going to be doing that. They're going to be buying because their belief is, well, we just started, right? We're breaking out. We just started. And that is true. But if you look how fast it ends, when we broke out of this, it was over really fast. And then we went sideways for 6 months. And then we went up for one more month, and then it was over. So how long was that exactly? 30 days plus 6 months plus 30 days. So it was only like 2 months for the whole move to really happen. And we've already went 90 days, right? Maybe like more like 30 or 40 days, not counting the corrections. So anyways, I digress. So let's keep an eye out for, actually, let's look close and let's see here. So it looks a little corrective. You're getting these little chops in here. I kind of like this. I kind of reset. So if we can reset and keep grinding, that's kind of the idea, right? We did take the high and we did get rejected. So you can look at it. Let's see. From kind of this. There we go. That's a pretty good trend line if you ask me. So there you go. We're right at resistance right in here. So is it possible that, we have to come down in 3, right? 3, 3, 3, and then go up? Yeah. So we can literally go all the way back to 280 and it'd still be very bullish, but it would really hurt sentiment. So, anyways, that's XRP. Really nothing else much to say about it. Let's look at Bitcoin then. Bitcoin. So, man, it doesn't look that good right here. I don't know what that is. It's kind of like a 1-2, 1-2. If that's a 1-2 nest, then that's going to be pretty interesting. But more than that, right? We came up, we flagged out, we broke out. I'm wondering if this is a flat, like A, B, C. Right? Now this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I wonder if that's the case. Or if this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, this is A, this is B, and this is C, and then we go up. So those are 2 options. I'm not sure exactly which one it's going to be because, again, you have point A, point B, and we're right in point C. Point C is always the hardest, right? Because is it going to break or is it going to come down? So I don't think it matters right now because we're just kind of floating in here. So we got some time. It kind of seems like maybe a diag 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. ABC, something like that. Could be a flat too, 335. And that would mean more downside to come for a little bit. So, because we still don't know, are we going to have to come down here and retest this? You know, are we going to have to come down and retest that area before we go up? That's another thing too. Anytime you break out of a significant range, a lot of times you got to backtest that range. So we could see that coming soon. Hopefully not too soon, but SHIB, I mean, you could start to see the bullish divergence, or the bearish divergence was taken out. You can see that right there. So that's good. But yeah, with SHIB, you got this beautiful impulse and a three-wave correction, and now you're breaking out. So that's cool. Let's keep it moving. And it's literally going to be the same thing with everything else. Theta, same thing. It's exactly the same. Three-wave, breaking out. So what are the alternatives here? Well, I guess the alternative could be that this is a big B wave. So you got like one, let's see, you got 3 down, you got a big 3 up, and then maybe another move like this over here before going up. And it's kind of like it's kind of a channel, you know? So, it's pretty much it for Theta. I mean, there's really not much else to talk about. I guess people would want to know, well, are we going up or down? Well, it seems a little bearish right here. I don't know. I don't feel like it's ready quite yet. If this is A and this is B, let's get C and then go up. I mean, if we get that, that would be cool, because it would kind of reset everything. So, and Monero kind of got a dump here. Yeah, see, Monero was in this range. It broke the range, and then now it's coming down to retest it. And it was doing it correctively. Right? So you got 1, 2, and 3. So that's a 3-wave move up. So are we going to get a 1, 2, 3-wave move down? Something like that, where it comes a bigger 3. So you get 3 there, and then reevaluate up there. XLM's a little different. See, XLM seems like I don't have 3 waves. I got 1. It looks like we're getting 2, and then maybe 3, and then that's kind of what I would imagine for XLM, something kind of like that. So, anyways, that should do it for this video. Nothing really too much, but just keep an eye on XRP and the small time frames, and we'll go from there. So anyways, remember, not financial advice. I could be wrong. We're just trying to figure it out. And with that, I will catch you on the next one. Cheers.